This conference
Hi,
will now be recorded.
hi, Nusrat here.
Hello
Yeah,
guys,
hi.
Samira here.
Hi, Samira.
And hi, I'm Pranav.
Hello. Yeah. Hello guys, Sadat
So,
here.
Hi, hello
so
everyone.
guys, let us start.
Myself, Ian
Let us,
Rashid.
yeah, let us start.
Yes.
Guys, as we all know, the central nervous system is made up of our brain and the spinal cord, and also the brainstem in the middle. Yes. So, as we all know, the functional unit of the central nervous system to say is neuron. Nursery thing, needless to say. This is the cell body of the neuron. This is the cell body of the neuron, and this is the axon of the neuron. As we all know. Why am I saying this? Why am I teaching you nursery things? Because we have to build the topic. The axons in the central nervous system are myelinated. Okay. And what is myelin made up of, guys? What is myelin made up of? It is made up of lipoprotein. It is made up of lipoprotein. And how is lipid visible, guys? How is lipid visible? It is black in color or white in color? It is white in color, guys. It is white in color. So the myelinated axons are white in color. That will constitute your white matter. White matter. Note down, guys. Note down, guys. What is white matter? The myelinated axons in the central nervous system are known as white matter. This is the cell body, guys. This is the cell body. This is the impulse generator. This is the impulse generator. This is the impulse carrier. Axon is the impulse carrier. So your gray matter, guys, gray matter is the impulse generator, and white matter is the impulse carrier. Okay. Where is gray matter found in the central nervous system, guys? Where is gray matter found? Gray matter is found in your cerebral cortex, guys. Cerebral cortex. This is the cerebellum. We have two cerebral hemispheres, guys. Yes. This is the cerebral cortex. In the cerebral cortex, we have this part of the neuron called the cell body, which constitutes the gray matter. Apart from the cerebral cortex, which constitutes the gray matter, we also have several gray matters over here lying. What is this, guy? What is this? This is basal ganglia. This is another gray matter found over here. Okay. And we also have several nuclei, guys, several nuclei. That is also the accumulation of gray matter in the central nervous system, guys. Yes, we all know nuclei is the accumulation of gray matter in the central nervous system, and ganglion is the accumulation of the cell bodies in the peripheral nervous system, guys. Needless to say, you all know this. So we have discussed the gray matter, the white matter. Now, what is white matter, guys? What is white matter? White matter is what connects your gray matter with other parts of the central nervous system, guys. Other parts of the central nervous system. Now, let us divide this white matter. Write down, guys. Write down. Please note it down. White matter is divided into three types. Is divided into three types. So on what basis is it being divided, guys? On what basis is it being divided? So this is the cerebrum, guys. This is the cerebrum. This is the cerebellum. This is the cerebellum. This is the brainstem. This is the brainstem. So we have two cerebral hemispheres. As we all know, this is one cerebral hemisphere. This is one cerebral hemisphere. This is the other cerebral hemisphere. This is other cerebral hemisphere. Okay, guys. Okay, I think it is visible. It is visible. One cerebral hemisphere, two cerebral hemisphere. If the white matter is connecting back part of the cerebral hemisphere with the front part of the cerebral hemisphere like this, two parts of the same cerebral hemisphere in antero-posterior axis, that is known as the association fiber, guys. That is known as the association fibers. You all know this. You all know this. This is just a revision for you. Okay, our topic will be starting right now, but let us build the concept first. Let us build the topic. So this is the association fiber. It is one of the white matter connecting the two parts of the same cerebral hemisphere, guys. Note it down. Note it down. Okay. If the white matter is connecting two different cerebral hemisphere, it is known as what it is known as, guys. What it is known as? Those are known as, guys. Those are known as. Can I have in the chat box? Can I have in the chat box? What are they known as? And let me know the answer from the panelists. And what it is known as if it is connecting the upper part of the central nervous system with the lower part of the central nervous system, like this brain with the spinal cord, the white matter is connecting. What this white matter is known as? Antero-posteriorly, it is the association fiber.
Right? Okay.
Yes, guys. Yes, guys. It is commissural fibers. It is commissural fibers. So what is commissural fibers? The corpus callosum is one of your commissural fibers, guys. What corpus callosum? Yeah.
Vaishnavi is answering projection fibers.
Okay, the superior to inferior connection is known as projection fiber, guys. So white matter, write this down. White matter is divided into 3 ties based on what part of the central nervous system, in what direction it is connecting. Anterior, posterior in the same cerebral hemisphere as association fibers, and 2 cerebral hemisphere as commissural fibers, and superior part of the central nervous system with the inferior part of the central nervous system as projection fibers. Let us see one by one what is constituting these association fibers, the commissural fibers, and the projection fiber, guys. Yes, we will see this. Okay, the association fibers, we have the superior longitudinal fasciculus, you have the inferior longitudinal fasciculus, you have short fasciculus. This is an SAQ, guys. This is an SAQ. Note it down and read it from your textbook. I am not going to explain this because this is very easy. After I told you the concept, this is the white matter. Okay, white matter, gray matter, white matter. Gray matter, cortex, basal ganglia, and the nuclei. White matter connecting the parts of the central nervous system. We have the association fibers, we have the commissural fibers, and we have the projection fibers. Now, association fibers, SAQ, read it from your textbook, very easy. Now, what are the commissural fiber, guys? We have to know this, but this also I'm not going to tell you. This is a 2 marks question, guys, very important 2 marks question, and a viva question. Okay, if you want to know what the commissural fibers are, please let me know in the chat box. Now, main topic of ours today is the projectional fiber, guys. Projectional fibers, the fibers connecting the central nervous system, the upper part of the central nervous system with the lower part of the central nervous system. This is the projection fiber, guys. This is the projection fiber. Now, what is constituting your projection fibers? Let us see now. Okay, hope this speed is good. If it is good, please type yes in the chat box.
Speed is good, Arbaz, but from my side, what I observe is that it is shaking very much, disturbing for the eyes. Please keep it in mind as much as possible, please. Request you.
Sure. Now,
Arbaz,
Zaki, what's the this thing comments
yes.
about the speed? Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
yes,
The speed is
absolutely.
good, guys. Let us continue. Yes, I can be a little fast, guys. I I know you all grasp it. You have read those physics big equations. You have understood those. This is nothing, guys. Medicine is very easy compared to that. Okay. Now let us start. Let us start with the projection fibers, guys. Projection fibers connecting the upper part of the central nervous system with the lower part of the central nervous system. Now we have projection fibers divided as the corona radiata. Write this down. Corona radiata. What is this? I'll explain you. Okay. The internal capsule, and the tracts. Now these two, the corona radiata and the internal capsule, is in the brain ka hemisphere. Now this is connecting the brain with the spinal cord. So major part of the tracts will be found in the spinal cord, guys. Okay, tracts. So let me draw over here. If these are the two cerebral hemisphere, this is the midbrain, this is the pons, this is the medulla, and this is the spinal cord, guys. This is the spinal cord. Hope you understand the orientation over here. Okay. So from here, the cortex is there. White matter going down. Here is the internal capsule. Let me give you a quick orientation of what internal capsule is, guys. Internal capsule is a collection of white matter. So if this is the brain, okay, brain में cortex say the fibers that we are getting, it is going down. So all the fibers going down from above downwards in the brain are called your internal capsule. As you all know, you have internal capsule like this, the anterior limb, the genu, and the posterior limb, guys. Anterior limb. So ये brain है. This is the brain. This is the spinal cord. From brain to the spinal cord, it is going. In the brain, the part of the tracts is called as the internal capsule. Mainly you have the corticospinal, corticobulbar, corticonuclear. We'll see what are all this. Okay. Hope you understand what internal capsule is. Type yes in the chat box if you agree.
It's like a check post. If I say it in common language, it's like a check post.
Yes. Bundle. It is a bundle of white matter, guys. Am I getting yes or no?
Answer, sir, yes.
Yes, guys. Yes, guys. You are very, very clever. You are very, very clever. These are nursery thing, guys. I need not teach you. Okay. The tracks. Let us start with the tracks now. So we have seen the projection fibers. Those are the corona radiata. This is the corona radiata, guys. From the gray matter to the internal capsule, the part of white matter is known as the corona radiata. Note this down, guys. Even after writing your exam, people don't know what corona radiata is. Okay. Mainly, it will carry your corticospinal tracts, okay? Write down, this is the corona radiata, this is the internal capsule. From the internal capsule, what is starting is your tracts, guys, is your tracts. Now, till here to here is your tracts. How are we going to define, classify the tracts, guys? Let me classify the tracts, okay? So we can classify tracks as the ascending tracks, and the descending tracks, ascending, as the name implies, going from the sensory organ, this is the skin, guys, going from the sensory organ to the brain, ascending tracks. So these are sensory tracks, guys. Needless to say, sensory tracks, even a nursery guy will understand, okay? Descending track, guys, descending from the brain, it is carrying impulse to the muscle, guys. It is carrying impulse to the muscle. So this is the descending track, guys. This is the descending track. Even an intrauterine fetus will understand this. Okay. This is the descending tracks. It is motor, guys. It is motor. I hope the tracks are clear. They are ascending tracks and descending. Now we will proceed with the ascending tracks, guys. Now starts our actual session. The orientation is over. If you want a quick recap, type yes, otherwise type proceed. Let me know the answer.
Yes, Arbaz. Proceed also.
The answer is yes. Okay, yes. So we have seen a neuron.
Okay.
Quick, in 2 seconds I will revise, in 10 seconds I will revise. No need to worry. Okay. This is the neuron cell body. This is the axon myelinated. As it is myelinated, it is a white matter, guys. It is white matter. This is the gray matter. Okay. Where are the gray matter located in our central nervous system, guys? It is in the cortex. It is in the basal ganglia, and it is the nuclei in the brainstem, which is carrying the cranial nerves. So this is the nuclei. And the gray matter's collection in the peripheral nervous system is known as the ganglia, guys. It is known as the ganglia. Okay. The part of the the axon or the white matter connecting these nuclei, connecting two parts of the central nervous system is called as the white matter, guys. White matter. We have divided this white matter as association fiber connecting the same cerebral hemisphere antero-posteriorly, guys. Antero-posteriorly. We have the commissural fiber, guys. Commissural fibers connecting the two cerebral hemisphere like this. Okay. It is crossing the midline, guys. If this is my one cerebral hemisphere, this is my other cerebral hemisphere, it will cross the midline. The typical example is your corpus callosum. 4 marks answer. Write down 3 4 marks answer we have discussed now. Association fiber is 1 SAQ. Corona radiata is what is this? Commissural fibers is 2 marks question. Commissural fibers. And your corpus callosum, if it is included in the commissural fibers, it will be a 4 mark question. 4 mark. I don't know your distribution of marks, whether it is 2 marks or 4 marks. I'll tell you as per the SAQ or LAQ, or it may be asked. See, guys, in MBBS, there is nothing like this will be asked only in SAQ, this will be asked only in LAQ. Anything can be asked anywhere. A 2 marks question can be a part of your LAQ. An entire LAQ can be your SAQ. So you have to prioritize what to write and what not. We'll be discussing that in the paper presentation, guys. Okay. And what are the projection fiber, guys? The projection fiber, the superior to inferior. So we are discussing about the projection fiber. 1 SAQ, 2 SAQ, 3 SAQ. The projection fiber, whatever you name it, it is an LAQ, it is an SAQ, it is a Viva question. And I told you earlier that if you don't know this topic, don't take the hall ticket. The projection fiber, guys, the corona radiata, the internal capsule, the tracts. Okay. The corona radiata from the cortex till the internal capsule, the part is known as the corona radiata. I know this diagram is not clear, but please manage, guys. If I keep on drawing good diagrams, that will be waste of your time. Okay. This is the internal capsule, guys. Internal capsule. Okay. This will be the longitudinal structure like this. This will be a longitudinal. What are the parts of internal capsule? Internal capsule is a LAQ, guys. LAQ. It is a very, very important LAQ. We have a very good session on internal capsule being taken by one of our good panelists, Dr. Samira. I think that would be in the 3rd week of October. Yes, Samira, are you taking that, right?
Yes, Dr. Arbaz.
Yes. So internal capsule is a separate topic in itself. You'll be having detailed discussion along with the stroke, guys, So, okay. Then we have the tracks, guys, tracks ascending. Bolo.
We got an LQ in our time, right? When we were in first year.
Yeah, we got this essay, the LAQ. This is the essay question we got.
खुशखबरी के लिए ये बता दूं कि they have 15 marks question. LAQ stands for 15 marks, in which they have so good division of marks with so many questions to answer. So every detail has its own importance, and there is no way you can skip. Oh, this is not important, I'm not gonna bother, I'll just take up few points and I'll write. That is not gonna work, because every detail he's dividing it as a question. 15 marks question, it is divided into various with 2 marks and 1 mark. So please focus
Yes.
on every detail. Thank you.
Yes. From the panelists, I am taking some names from. Yes, Salbat, please speak. Do you have any doubts, Salbat?
No.
Okay. Okay, Salbat, I'll ask you that note down all these SAQs and LAQs. At the end of the session, I'll ask you to repeat for our attendees what are the LAQs or SAQs. Till now, what I told, 3 to 4. We'll be covering that in our subsequent sessions. Okay. Now the tracks. The tracks ascending, descending. Ascending is sensory and descending is motor. Not wasting much of your time. Let us now proceed with the descending tracks first. The descending tracks. Okay. Descending tracks.
And Dr. Arbaz, I wanted to add in it. It's a request for everyone to listen properly to what he's speaking, because what you listen in this class will not be repeated again in other classes, wherein we'll just name those tracks, or the detailed description is given in this class. So in our subsequent classes, we'll be just telling those names of the tracks and not in a detailed way.
Yes, guys. So descending tracks, we are starting, guys. Descending tracks. Let me start with the anatomy of the spinal cord a little bit. So this is the spinal cord. We are taking a transverse section and seeing from above. So this is the spinal cord, a transverse section. This is the posterior structure, guys. This is the posterior aspect. This is the anterior aspect. This is the anterior aspect. This is the anterior median fissure. This is the posterior median sulcus. As you all know, the posterior median sulcus is deep. That's why it is called sulcus. It is shallow, it is narrow. That's why it is called as the fissure. So this is the central canal of the spinal cord, guys. All these things are needless to know. So I will draw butterfly shaped structure in the middle. So what is this, guys? This is the gray matter of your spinal cord, as you all know, baby things. Okay, and this is the spinal cord. This butterfly shaped structure, the gray matter, is dividing the entire spinal cord white matter. This is the white matter, guys. This is the white matter. This is the gray matter. Gray matter is dividing the white matter of the spinal cord into three parts. This is the midline. So these two will be complementary. So let us see only the one side. So this column, this we call columns. The white matter which is being divided by this gray matter is called column. Note it down. This is the lateral column, guys. This is the anterior column. And this is the posterior column, guys. This is the posterior or dorsal column. Posterior column or dorsal column. Okay, I hope I am clear.
They are named so because of their positions, right?
Yes, they are named because of their positions. Okay, so this is the dorsal column, right? This is the dorsal column, this is the lateral column, and this is the anterior column. Now what are the tracks coming here? Are we discussing the descending tracks or the ascending tracks? Let us see, guys. Let us see. What are we discussing? First, let us discuss both the things combined. So pink means it is ascending track, guys. Pink means ascending track. Brown means descending track. So your dorsal column is pure sensory, as you all know. Nursery thing. Dorsal column is pure sensory. If you don't know this, write down now. So this is pure sensory. I am writing with pink. Dorsal column is pure sensory. Lateral column we have sensory also. Anterior column we have sensory. So sensory tracts are found everywhere. Ascending tracts are found everywhere. We have divided tracts into ascending and descending, right? So ascending tracts are found everywhere. Out of that, dorsal column is pure sensory. Now, the lateral column and the anterior column, guys, it has motor component also. It has motor component also. Okay, okay. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. Now let us discuss only the descending tracks. Only the descending means this and this we will discuss. Ascending we will discuss in after some time. After some time. So let us start with this thing. Descending tracks. Note it down. Note it down. I'm going slow because I got many complaints in my first session that I was very fast. So I'm going in a moderate speed.
Yes,
Hope this is fine for you all.
I'll request you to do so because this participants, they are mix of participants. Some may be very smart, some may not be. So it's our
Yes,
duty to
everyone is smart, but the level of preparation may be different. Yes, yes.
yeah. But it is our duty. The smart ones will study, however, but this session should
Yes,
profit the ones who are not able to, right? So a bit
yes,
slow should
yes,
not cause a big problem to the smart ones. Please bear with us. Thank you.
yes. This will be a revision for you. This will be a revision for you. Descending tracks we are discussing, guys. What are the descending tracks? I will name the descending tracks. Only one descending track is very important. As you all know, you might have heard this word after coming into MBBS several times, hundreds of times. This is the corticospinal tract, guys. Corticospinal tract. This is the corticospinal tract, one of the descending tracks. What are the other descending tracks, guys? The rubrospinal, and your vestibulospinal, and also one more, guys, tectospinal. So 4 descending tracks, guys. The corticospinal, the main one, rubrospinal, vestibulospinal, tectospinal. Okay. I hope this is clear. Now, where are these located in our spinal cord? We will see. Okay, this is the dorsal column pure sensory. Don't go there. This is motor we are discussing, descending. So we'll be restricted with our lateral and anterior column, guys. Now, this corticospinal tract will be there in the lateral column also. It will be there in the anterior column also. So lateral is called as lateral corticospinal tract. Anterior is called as the anterior corticospinal tract. Hope this is clear. Corticospinal tract, lateral and anterior. Yes, and we have rubrospinal as we have written over here. We have the vestibulospinal as we have written over here, and we have the tectospinal we have written over here. So rubrospinal is in the lateral column. Vestibulospinal is in the lateral column, and tectospinal, this tectospinal is in the anterior column, as you all can see. Okay, okay. Let me tell you the functions of these columns. Now, physiology, anatomy is over. Physiology we are going into. Corticospinal tract, guys. This is your upper motor neuron. Let me tell you the orientation. This is human being, guys. This is human being. Okay, this is his muscle. Let's say this is biceps. Okay. I'm very bad in drawing. Okay, biceps. I'm holding camera in one hand, so I'm not able to draw very clearly. Hope you understand. This is his brain. From brain traversing through the spinal cord, it is coming till the spinal cord. This is called as upper motor neuron, guys. Upper motor neuron. From the anterior horn cell of the spinal cord. This is the anterior horn cell in the gray matter, guys. In the gray matter, not in the white matter. So from above, from brain, the tract is coming down into the spinal cord. It is synapsing over here in the anterior horn cell. From anterior horn cell, one more nerve is arising. This is the lower motor neuron. So upper motor neuron is restricted in the brain and spinal cord. Lower motor neuron is outside the spinal cord, guys. It is outside the spinal cord. So it is supplying the brain. It is supplying the muscle. So your corticospinal tract is the main upper motor neuron. If you want to move your hand, the impulse should come from here. So it is first traveling from the upper motor neuron, which is your corticospinal tract. So voluntary, muscular activity. Write down. I hope the function of corticospinal tract is clear. These are also upper motor neuron, guys. But they have some special functions. What are that functions? What are those functions? Rubrospinal tract, guys. Rubrospinal and vestibulospinal. These are opposite. These are opposite in function. Remember it as sit or bend or sit. To bend down, this is me standing, this is bending. This is me standing, this is bending. For bending, which muscles should be acting? The flexors or the extensors? Let me know in the chat box. This is not a rocket science, guys. It is very simple.
Flexors. Flexors.
Yes, it is the flexor we should be acting for bending. So the rubrospinal tract, guys, the rubrospinal tract facilitate the flexor. Plus means facilitation. Plus means facilitation. Facilitate the flexors and inhibit the extensors. Inhibit the extensors. So in answer, you have to write that rubrospinal tract is an upper motor neuron arising in the red nucleus in the midbrain, I suppose. Where is the red nucleus? Yes, it is in the midbrain. From midbrain, it is coming as a rubrospinal tract in the lateral column of the spinal cord. Yes, it is coming. And what is its function? It is helping you to bend, helping you to sit. So flexors are facilitated and extensors are inhibited. This is what I want to say. And your vestibulospinal tract has the opposite function. What is it, guys? It inhibits the flexors. And activates the extensor. So a
Arbaz,
mnemonic
what
also
did
I
you-
have given. Rubrospinal means you remember as sit or bend, and vestibulospinal means you remember as stand. Yes, Nusrat.
Vestibulospinal, what did you say the position in the spinal cord?
Stand.
Where it is located?
It is in the lateral column, right? If it is not, please let me know. Okay, guys.
Yeah, I am
Okay.
also getting confused.
Now,
But it's written as it is present in the medial pathways, anterior
okay,
and the
it is in the
tectospinal.
anterior.
Vestibulospinal is in the anterior part. Okay, the tectospinal it is medially. It is situated medially. The tectospinal you drew, it should be medial,
Yes.
near the fissure.
Medial to the corticospinal, you're asking. Medial to the
Yeah.
corticospinal. Okay, that doesn't matter. Wherever it is in the, and this is only a topographical presentation, guys. This is not the exact what we find in the textbook. You can read the
No,
textbook and relate to it. Okay.
if we divide the
Yes. Let us
descending
not get
tract,
confused.
yeah, because in
Let
readers
us not
it
get
is,
confused. Okay.
so it may confuse
Okay.
the
Okay.
student.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
lateral,
Okay. Okay.
and the group is anterior and medial. In the lateral, we have the corticospinal and this one, rubrospinal, as you rightly said,
Okay.
lateral
Okay.
spinal,
Sir,
and
thank you for clarifying. Yes.
the rest of the lie in the anterior and medial.
Yes. Now we will be seeing the tectospinal. We have seen the function of the corticospinal, guys. We have seen the function of the rubrospinal, guys. We have seen the function of the vestibulospinal, guys. Both of them functions are opposite to each other. And now we are going to see the function of your tectospinal tract, guys. Tectospinal tract. What is the function of tectospinal tract, guys? It is helping. I'll write over here. Tectospinal. It is helping in head and neck, eye, head and neck, eye, upper limb coordination. So remember this as flying a kite or driving. While flying a kite, you need your upper limb, you need your eyes, and you need your head and neck coordination. So the tectospinal tract is needing the coordination between your head, eye, and upper limb, not to get confused. So we have seen the descending tracts, not the course, but various descending tracts. Where are they found? After I complete this session, guys, go and read this topic. You will relate to it. And if there are some mistakes here and there may be mistakes. I have revised this. It is not that completely it is perfect, but most of the thing I have seen to it that it is accurate. I may have made mistakes. Okay. So if you want me to revise this, okay, I'll be revising this anyhow because this is overwhelming for you. I'll revise this. Okay. We were discussing the descending tracts, guys. So descending tracts, we have corticospinal tracts, the lateral and the anterior. We have the rubrospinal, vestibulospinal, and the tectospinal, guys. Corticospinal tracts, voluntary muscular activity. We have the upper motor neuron, lower motor neuron. The upper motor neuron is called the corticospinal tract. Where is it ending, guys? This corticospinal tract, it is ending in the anterior horn cell of the spinal cortex gray matter. Yes. Now, the rubrospinal vestibulospinal function we have seen, it is helping in facilitation of the flexors and inhibition of the extensors. The vestibulospinal, we are helping it in it is helping in the inhibition of flexors and facilitation of the extensor. The tectospinal tract, guys, the tectospinal tract is here. It is helping us to fly kite. Don't write this in the examination that it is helping to fly kite. It is for your mnemonic. The main thing is head and neck, eye and upper limb ka coordination. This is the descending tract, guys. Now what we'll be learning? The course of the corticospinal tracts only. No need for all these courses and all. Only function is sufficient. Where it is found, it is sufficient. And to know that it exists. Okay. Don't neglect this. Consider this, that these exist. Corticospinal tract is the main thing. Corticospinal tract is the main thing. Okay. We'll be discussing the course. Now I want you to tell my speed. Is my speed okay? If my speed is okay, type yes. If you want me to go fast, type fast. If you want me to go slow, type slow. Flood the chat box, guys. Flood the chat box. Type.
Yes, Arbaz, most of the answers are yes, okay? Yes, okay, yes, okay.
And if anyone want me to repeat anything, they can ask me right now, or I will be proceeding further. Let us proceed now. Corticospinal tract, guys. Corticospinal tract. What is corticospinal tract? It is the upper motor neuron. Upper motor neuron. Okay. This is the upper motor neuron. So it is one of the descending tracts. It is one of the descending tracts. Let us draw the orientation. Let us draw the orientation. This is the two cerebral hemisphere. These are the two cerebral hemisphere. Okay. This is your midbrain. This is your pons. This is your medulla. This is your medulla. And here is your spinal cord. Here is your spinal cord. So the entire page I have taken to draw the orientation. Okay. So that it is very, very clear. Now I'll be going here very slow. Take a new page. Write down as I am saying. This is very, very important. Corticospinal tract is a 10 marks to 15 marks question. And it is clinically also very important. Clinically also very important. If there are lesions in the corticospinal tract, as it is helping in the voluntary muscle activity, it will result in paralysis. It will result in paralysis. No voluntary activity, paralysis, hemiplegia, quadriplegia, stroke, focal neurological deficits. These are okay.
Arbaz, can you please tell the difference between plegia and paralysis? Make it clear here only, because there are
we will discuss that. We will discuss that in the applied aspect. Let us now continue with the corticospinal tracts. This is the gray matter, guys. Cortex, gray matter. It consists of your cell body. Okay. Now, which area of the gray matter is sending the motor impulse? Type in the chat box. Flood the chat box. At least 108 people are here. Out of that, maybe 5 to 6 maybe panelists. So I need 102 people answering. Which area of the brain, the corticospinal tract or the pyramidal tract? This is also called as the pyramidal tract, guys. Pyramidal tracts. Why it is called the pyramidal tract?
Arbaz, can you hear me?
Yes.
One of our attendees has answered as premotor cortex.
Yes, it is the primary motor cortex and the premotor cortex and also the primary somatosensory cortex, guys. All the three things. So I will draw the orientation for you. This is the brain. This is the brain. Okay. This is the cerebellum. This is the cerebellum. This is the brainstem. This is the brainstem. This is the spinal cord. How we are seeing? Laterally we are seeing. Okay. This is the central sulcus, as you all know. This is the primary motor area. This is the premotor area. Motor, as you all say, motor. This is the primary somatosensory area. This is the primary somatosensory area. This is the somatosensory association area. This will be covered in subsequent sessions, all the areas, no need to worry. Only remember from where the corticospinal tracts are arising. The primary motor area, guys, the primary motor area will have the numbers as 3, 1, 2, or you can remember as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Primary motor.
I'm sorry. It is 4. The primary somatosensory area is 3, 1, 2, guys. The primary somatosensory area. This is the anterior aspect, guys. This thing is the anterior. This is the posterior. This is the central sulcus. Anterior to the central sulcus, we have the primary motor area number 4. And primary, premotor area is area number 6. Primary motor area number 4. Premotor area number 6. Hope this is clear. Primary somatosensory area 3, 1, 2, area 3, 1, 2, and somatosensory association area 5, 6. No need to remember. Only remember 4, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and 6. So these are the areas of the brain. Now let me see how many of you answer this nursery ka question. From which cells of the primary motor cortex are these corticospinal tracts arising? Name the cells. Histology question.
Arbas, we are getting cell of beds.
Yes, very good, very good. Bed cells is the answer.
And
So I
Arbas,
told you guys.
some of our participants are telling to go somewhat slow. Okay, go somewhat slow. Okay.
Okay, guys. Okay, I'll go somewhat slow. And I'm very happy that it's been 40 minutes that we have started and not a single participant has left the session. I'm very, very proud for that you are participating actively. Okay.
If you
This
have
shows
any
you.
technical issue or any lag or any issue, you can like directly message to me as an organizer. Okay. If you have any doubt or anything technical issue, you can just message in the comment box. Okay. Fine. Arbas, continue the class.
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. One more thing, guys. We have started and it is about 40 minutes, right? I told you that this will be a session for 1.5 hours. I hardly doubt that this session will be completed in 1.5 hours. So we'll be stopping this session at 1.5 hours. And if some part is remaining, I'm sure that there will be remaining things and applied things cannot be covered in this class. Can that be continued tomorrow, or shall we start with tomorrow's topic? Tomorrow's topic is nerve potential. Okay. If yes, to be continued, you want to study this neuroanatomy and neurophysiology in more detail, type yes in the chat box. I am continuing. Okay. Okay,
Yes,
guys.
yes.
Okay. I said you. Yes. Okay. Okay. People are interested, and many people type, guys. Almost all of you type. All of you are listening, right?
Yeah,
Please type.
I'm getting
Please type.
only answer. Please spam like continuously. 108 members should actively message in the chat box. Okay, just
Yes,
spam it.
guys.
Okay.
That shows the interaction. What is happening? No one is going to see. Okay, if you don't want your name to be visible to your classmates, you can hide your name. But I say shy will not bring anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there is
My
no
personal
means of like
experience.
here. It is a virtual classroom.
Okay. The areas, right? The areas 4 and 3, 1, 2, write down over here. Okay. The 60% of the tracks are coming from primary motor area, guys. This is very important. Write down. And 40% of the corticospinal tracks are coming from the primary somatosensory area. Hope this is okay. Primary motor area. How many? 60%. Primary somatosensory area. How many? 40% of the corticospinal tracks are coming. Yes, they have come. Now, what is this? What is this? Let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box. I am not telling. I told this to you already. Now, here is the internal capsule, guys. I told you this is one of the white matter. This is also one of the white matter. I told you. Did I get any answers over there? The panelists.
Corona radiator, Arbas. It is the corona radiator. Most of the answers are
Yes.
corona radiator. Everyone is answering.
Corona radiata. And this is the internal capsule, guys. Now, in the internal capsule, you have the anterior limb, the genu, and the posterior limb, guys. Yes, you have these three things. This is the anterior limb, this is the genu, and this is the posterior limb. Now, let us see here closely. You see if it is visible from where this is passing. I think this is passing from the posterior limb. Posterior limb. Let me draw here. This is the anterior. This is the anterior limb. This is the genu, and this is the posterior limb. It is passing from here. So it is passing from the anterior 2/3 of the posterior limb. Posterior limb ka anterior aspect se it is passing. Okay, this is the posterior limb. Iska anterior aspect, only anterior aspect it is passing. So it is starting from the area 3 to 1 and all. It is continuing down as the corona radiata. It is then going into the internal capsule, descending vertically down from the posterior limb ka anterior 2/3 of the posterior limb. Yes. And if you want to remember, I will tell you a trick. I learned this from my professor. Okay. Remember like this. This is the human being I am drawing. Okay. So this is the body. Body ka voluntary muscle by the corticospinal. So you can remember this part. Anterior 2/3 is by the corticospinal tract. Okay. This is the head means corticonuclear fibers. So here will be corticonuclear. So the Samira will be taking you corticospinal tract. So this will be there. Okay. The corticonuclear tracts will be passing from the genu, and the corticospinal tracts will be passing from the anterior 2/3 of the posterior limb, guys. Remember this. Write this down, note this down, and remember. Okay. Yes, we are going down. We are going down. This is the internal capsule. This is the internal capsule. Vertically down, it will ascend. Vertically down. So it is descending vertically down. It is coming down, down, down. This is the midbrain. This is the midbrain. It is coming down. It is coming down. This is the pons, midbrain. This is the midbrain. This is the pons, and this is the medulla. This is the upper medulla. This is the upper medulla. This is the lower medulla. This is the lower medulla. It is descending down, down, down. And in the lower medulla, it will cross to the opposite side. This is known as pyramidal decussation, guys. This is very, very, very important. What is pyramidal decussation? Decussation means crossing over. Where it is crossing over, the area is very, very important. It is the lower part of your medulla oblongata where it is crossing over to the opposite side as pyramidal decussation. This is the pyramidal decussation, guys. Yes, yes. Now, are all the fibers crossing? Are all the fibers crossing? I say yes. Almost all, not all. 90% of the fibers will cross in the lower medulla to the opposite side, guys. If this is the right cerebral hemisphere, in the lower medulla, the tracks will go and cross towards the left side. 90% of the tracks. 10% of the tracks will pass uncrossed, guys. 10% of the tracks will pass uncrossed. If there is any doubt till here in the corticospinal tracts, let me know in the chat box.
Arbaz?
Do I have any doubts? Yes.
Arbaz, can you
No,
please clear
Arbaz, no.
what
Yes.
corticonuclear tracts are?
Yes, corticonuclear tracts. From corticospinal, guys, as the name implied, from cortex to the spinal cord to the muscle, okay? Corticonuclear means from the cortex to the nuclei of the center of the cranial nerves, guys, to the nuclei of the cranial nerves. In midbrain, we have the nuclei of third and fourth cranial nerve here. In the pons, we have the nuclei of the fifth cranial nerve, okay, fifth cranial nerve, almost in the entire brainstem. So the nuclei are there. From the cortex to the nuclei are the corticonuclear fibers, guys. This will be taught to you in your cranial nerves ka topic, okay? Yes.
And
So this is the
there's a question.
corticospinal tract.
Arbaz, one of the students, FIFA, he says in BDC it's given as 80% tracks pass. They cross to the other side.
Yes, there may be some disparity. But what I have checked in the Vishram Singh's Neuroanatomy and other books and my professor, it is the 90 to 95%. I have studied the Kaplan USMLE textbook also in the notes, that is 90%. So you can safely rely with 90%, okay? So this is the 10% of the tracks. 10% of the tracks pass uncrossed. Okay. So if I draw the spinal cord section over here, this is the this thing, gray matter. This is the white matter. So this is the white matter. From where it is coming, anterior or lateral? I think it is lateral, right? So the crossed fibers will be coming as lateral corticospinal tracts. We have seen behind. We have seen here. Where was that? Yes, we have seen here, right? We have seen here. This is the lateral corticospinal tract. What are those actually? Those are the crossed fibers of the corticospinal tracts as lateral corticospinal tracts. Is it okay? Yes, it is okay. Yes, the uncrossed fibers will pass as the anterior corticospinal tract. This is the anterior corticospinal. This is the anterior. All the descending tracts we discuss corticospinal, lateral, and anterior. Okay. Yes.
Hello, Arbaz. There is a doubt in our attendees. Someone is
That is a
asking
very
that.
important doubt. Please tell me. Yes.
Someone is saying that you are seeing the diagram in anterior or from your posterior.
Yes. Okay. Sorry for not clarifying that. This is the human being, guys. This is the human being. This is the anterior aspect. This is his eyes. This is nose. This is his mouth. Okay. This is the anterior. Cut like this. The coronal section. This is the coronal section, guys. This is the coronal section. Cut like this and see. This is the diagram. Sorry for not clarifying, guys. Sorry for not clarifying. That should have been told very earlier. Very good doubt. Thank you for clarifying. I hope others have also. This is one cerebral hemisphere, guys. This other cerebral hemisphere. If we see it like this, it will continue as whole cerebral hemisphere. Hope you understand if you did not understand the orientation, type please repeat. It is very important. Orientation is very important. Thank you. Whoever has said that,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you to 2 dots. Okay. There is no name over here.
Yes. So is it okay? this thing, orientation. This is the human being. We are crossing it like this. If I am standing like this, this is me. This is me. This is my anterior aspect. I am cutting it from above. Okay, I cannot show because I am holding this thing. Okay, so if this is the human being, if this is the human being, this is the anterior aspect. This is the anterior aspect. This is from here is the posterior aspect. Okay, I am cutting from above like this, like this, like this. So here is one cerebral hemisphere. Here is other cerebral hemisphere. We are seeing the from here. We are seeing from here. Okay. Hope that is clear. We usually do not pay heed. That means understand this concentration towards this orientation. But this is the most important thing. If you don't understand the orientation, that means you are buttifying the answers. You are mugging it up. If you remember the orientation, you can remember that for lifelong. Hope the descending tract, corticospinal tract is this thing clear for you all. So let me see the termination. We have seen the origin, we have seen the origin, we have seen the course, we have seen the cross. It is crossing over. Where is it terminating then? Now it is terminating in the anterior horn cell of the spinal cord. This is the anterior horn cell. Okay. From there, the lower motor neuron will arise. I told you earlier that this is the upper motor neuron, this is the lower motor neuron from the anterior horn cell. So this is the anterior horn cell, right? This is the anterior horn cell. So this is the anterior horn cell. Here will terminate our this thing and our corticospinal tracts. And from here will arise our nerve, your radial nerve, your ulnar nerve, your brachial plexus, your femoral nerve. Okay? Almost all the nerves will arise from this anterior horn cell. The motor. If there is a lesion in the anterior horn cell, guys, there will be. So anterior horn cell, is it a part of lower motor neuron system or upper motor neuron system? It is a part of lower motor neuron, I say. It is a part of lower motor neuron. From here till anterior horn cell, it is upper motor neuron, just before the anterior horn cell. Anterior horn cell is lower motor neuron system because the lower nerve, the ulnar nerve, the brachial nerve, the other radial nerves, musculocutaneous, all those nerves are arising from the lower motor neuron. So lesion in the lower motor anterior horn cell is like lesion in the lower motor neuron. Okay. So which disease is affecting the anterior horn cell specifically? May I know in the chat box? Yes, we will proceed further. Let us discuss something about the upper motor neuron lesion, and lower motor neuron lesion. Please understand this very, very clearly. Important for your anatomy, your physiology, your viva, your fourth year ka medicine, every part of life, it is important. Okay.
Arbaz, we are getting an answer as syphilis from one of our attendees.
Syphilis, I don't think it is syphilis. Particularly, the anterior horn cells will not be involved in syphilis. Other parts also be. Tabes dorsalis is the disease caused by tertiary syphilis. Okay, that will involve other parts as well, not only the anterior horn cell of the spinal cord. 10th में पढ़े ये 8th में पढ़े anterior horn cell को कौन सा disease करता? एक paralyzing disease है वो. That is a paralyzing disease.
We are getting polio, okay? Answer as polio.
Yes, it is polio. It is polio. Poliomyelitis. What is myelitis? Myelitis means the spinal cord ka inflammation. So spinal cord ka which part ka inflammation? It is the anterior horn cell ka inflammation. So anterior horn cell is lost. So that is a lower motor neuron is lost. Okay. Now I will speak this for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. After this, we have to speak about the ascending tracts. There are 3 ascending tracts. Okay, the spinothalamic tracts, anterior lateral spinothalamic, the dorsal column medial lemniscal pathway, and the spinocerebellar tracts. Then I think we have to discuss about the Brown-Sequard syndrome and all. And also, I did not give you orientation of how the nerve is exiting from the spinal cord. So I think what we'll be doing, this we will discuss. I will discuss you how the nerve is exiting from the spinal cord because we are discussing about the motor system. Then after that, I will ask you in the chat box. Maximum people say to continue. We will continue for another half an hour, or otherwise we will end the session. Okay, we will continue tomorrow. Okay. Upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron. As I said, this is the human being. This is the human being. This is his brain. This is his brain. This is his spinal cord. This is his spinal cord. The brain से spinal cord तक it has come. Okay, till the anterior horn cell. From here to here, the nerve is coming. This is the muscle. This is the muscle. Okay, here is the muscle. Here is the muscle. Lesion anywhere in the spinal cord is the upper motor neuron lesion. Lesion anywhere in the nerve is called the lower motor neuron lesion. Lesion in the anterior horn cell is also lower motor neuron lesion. Okay, I told you. Now, what are the these things, the features of upper motor neuron? I will tell you the concept here. No need to mug up at all. Concept. Okay, wait just a second. I'm telling you the concept. I'll see the diagram. I have seen one good diagram. Where is the diagram? Okay. Is it visible, guys, or should I draw? I think I will draw only.
Arbaz, are you done? Combination of corticospinal tract, or you have something else to tell? Are you done with the termination?
Yes, I'm done. Almost done with the termination. Do you
Can
want
I
to add anything?
add?
Yes, please.
I wanted to say the termination of the lateral, the spinal corticospinal tracts are divided into lateral and anterior, right? The lateral ones, again, when they terminate, 30% of them end in the what do we say, white matter. From there, they have to go inside, which is the gray matter. From there, they will supply the muscles. So 30% of them. So you drew it right. I'll explain it to you. You convey it to the audience if you get it. See, we have the what do you say? White matter outside, gray matter inside. So lateral corticospinal tract, only 70% they will be in the white, what you showed, 70%. From there, again through interconnecting neurons, they have to go into the gray matter. From there, they will supply the muscles.
Okay.
From the gray
Okay.
matter,
I think I got you. I said the same thing over here. Let me clarify once again. So this is the corticospinal tract, guys. This is coming crossing over here. So this is the white matter, guys. White matter. But the lower motor neuron is arising from the anterior horn cell, which is a part of a gray matter, So it is coming down from white matter. It has to enter into the gray matter, right? From white matter, it has to enter into the gray matter. How it will enter? Nusrat is saying that some interneurons will be there for 30%. But what I have read is here it will go and enter from here into the gray matter. Okay, that is the thing. If you want to read in detail, you can refer the textbook. This is the basic idea. Okay. Now this is the muzzle, guys. This is the muzzle.
You didn't tell about the anterior corticospinal tract.
Okay, those details are not needed. That's why I'm skipping, because those details are not needed. If that all things I keep on tell, they will get confused, because I'm going in little detail, and this is a concise this thing. Okay, and if you want to add anything, you can very well add. So this is the corticospinal tract. Okay, from here it is coming. We have two types of this thing, right? Alpha and gamma motor neurons. Yes, we all know alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. This is the muzzle, guys. This is the muzzle. We have in muscle ka spindle. We have in muscle spindle. Fibers in the muscle ka spindle. This capsule will be there. Fibers inside will be your intrafusal fibers. This will be intrafusal fibers, and fibers outside will be the extrafusal fibers. Okay. So the neuron supplying the intrafusal fibers is the gamma motor neuron. Neuron supplying from the extrafusal fibers is the alpha motor neuron. So this is knee. This is your knee. This is your quadriceps. This is your patellar tendon. I tap over here. I'm checking which reflex, guys. Knee jerk. This is your knee. This is the quadriceps. If I tap, this muscle will get stretched. It will stimulate this thing. What is this thing? This is the spindle. The muscle spindle, guys. The muscle spindle. Intrafusal fibers will get stimulated. This will pass the impulse to from the gamma motor neuron to anterior horn cell of the spinal cord. Okay. This is there. It will go from from here it will go to the anterior horn cell. Okay. What is this? The dorsal root. All sensory will go to the dorsal root, right? So this is one of the sensory. It will go from the dorsal root. It will come and terminate in the anterior horn cell, and your alpha motor neuron is coming from the anterior horn cell and supplying the extrafusal fibers. So I want to say that when I tap in the patellar tendon, there will be a stretch in the muscle. That stretched muscle will send an impulse to the spinal cord, and it will in turn send an impulse to the anterior horn cell. From there arises the alpha motor neuron, which will supply the extrafusal fibers, and now the muscle will contract and your limb will get lifted. This is your reflex arc anatomy. If you draw this, you will get full marks. I hope you understand this. If you don't understand, please write in the chat box. Yes or no?
No, yes. No, yes. We are getting mixed answer, Arbaz.
Yes, you should
We are getting
repeat.
mixed answers. That means this thing is
We
not
are
clear.
getting
I will explain you in 1 minute. In 1 minute, I will explain you the entire thing. See here, guys. See here. This is the spinal cord. I hope it is visible. This is the spinal cord. Okay. Here is the anterior horn cell. If you see, not visible.
You should. No, the words are
Just
so
touch your
minute.
phone
It's
one
not
second.
visible.
Arbaz, just touch your phone. I think it will
Okay.
become
Wait.
clear.
Arbaz,
Huh?
like completely screen is blur. Touch your camera, okay?
Okay. I think I shall scan this and tell you. Wait just a second, guys. Just a second. I'll scan this in my iPad and explain you, because that will be more clear, I think. Just a second.
Arbaz, you can just tap on the screen. Maybe it will get focused better.
I don't think.
Yes. So is it now clear? I hope it is clear.
Yeah,
Should I increase
somewhat.
the brightness? It is full. The brightness is full.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
keep
is
your
clear.
Is it
phone
clear?
at. Now it's visible.
Okay.
Don't shake your phone, okay? Don't shake your phone.
Okay. This is the spinal cord, guys. This is the spinal cord. This is the corticospinal tract coming and ending in the anterior horn cell. If I draw like this, this is your gray matter. So it will come from white matter, terminate over here in the anterior horn cell. Anterior horn cell is inside the gray matter. Okay, inside the gray matter. So from here, the lower motor neuron. These two are the lower motor neurons. Okay. This is the muscle. This is the spindle, muscle spindle. So if I tap the tendon, this muscle spindle will get stimulated. This alpha motor neuron will go and give impulse to the anterior horn cell of the spinal cord. Okay.
Gamma,
Yes.
gamma.
Now from here, gamma. Thank you, gamma. Okay. From here, the alpha motor neuron will come and it will supply the extrafusal. Can you see this is the extrafusal fibers? This itself, muscle spindle is a SAQ 4 mark we got in our final exam. Muscle spindle, proprioception, cerebellar connections, vestibular system, and your this thing. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? क्या है वो?
Let it be.
Okay,
Let's go
all
forward.
these things, vertigo, all these will be covered in the subsequent sessions. In detail, because this is very important. I'm giving you an idea. Okay. Muscle spindle se gaya. So why am I stressing so much? I will tell you. So let me draw it once again. This is the spinal cord. Okay. From here, the corticospinal tracts are coming. From here, the gamma motor neuron came. It gave the impulse to the anterospinal tract. From here, the alpha motor neuron, both of these are supplying muscle. This is supplying the intrafusal fibers. So this is independent of the brain, guys. This is independent of the brain. Corticospinal tracts are not acting over here. Even if the upper motor neuron is not there, this reflex arc will function, and there will be reflexes. There will be reflexes. Okay. Lower motor neuron का reflex arc है ये. Okay. If corticospinal tracts are not there, voluntary muscle activity के लिए, yes, this will be there. Yes. यहाँ से मेरे को हाथ उठाना है. I want to lift my hand. Brain will think, corticospinal tracts will convey only to the alpha motor neuron. It will supply the extrafusal fibers and my muscle will contract. Now don't take this into picture. Don't take this into picture. I'm just thinking about my tone. Tone. What is tone? Partial state of contraction. My muscle is in tone. I'm not flaccid. Flaccid means dhila. Flaccid means dhila. Okay. Tone means I have some tone. I'm able to maintain the tone of my body. If the tone is not there, my wrist would have been dropped like this. Why? Because there is no tone. This is known as wrist drop. Which nerve injury? You can type in the chat box. Okay. Nothing related to our discussion now. Okay. Now what I wanted to say is reflex is not involving the upper motor neuron. So what is the this thing importance of the upper motor neuron? Two importance. Write this down. Very, very important. This will clear your concepts very, very easily. Okay. What is that? The two importance are: first importance, it will have an inhibitory effect. Inhibitory effect on the reflex arc. This reflex. Point number one, inhibitory reflex. It will tell this reflex arc that don't go on exaggeratingly do this reflex. Don't keep on contracting. If it is keeping on contracting like this, the muscle is rigid. The muscle is rigid. This is known as spasm of the muscle. The tone is increased. The spasm of the muscle. Okay. And if there is no inhibitory control, this is the father, this is the father, this is the child, this is the child. If father is not there, the child will be overactive. It will keep on doing because it likes it. It likes it. So when I elicit a reflex, guys, when I elicit a reflex, it will when I tap this, the patella tendon will stretch the muscle from intrafusal fibers. It will go and it will tell the alpha motor neuron to cause contraction of the extrafusal fibers. So it impulse is going from here, then it is coming here repeatedly. There is no inhibitory control. So reflexes are exaggerated. Reflexes are exaggerated. When it will be exaggerated? When there is no upper inhibitory influence. Write this down. Inhibitory influence is not there. What will happen? Spastic paralysis. What is spastic paralysis? Spasm of the muscle. It is contracting exaggeratedly, excessively. Okay. Write this down. Inhibitory reflex is not there. When this inhibitory reflex is not there, when I have transection of spinal cord or lesion anywhere in the upper motor neuron. Okay, this is the corticospinal tract, right? This is the entire upper motor neuron. Till anterior console, if I have any lesion, that means my upper motor neuron ka lesion, it will not have any inhibitory influence over here. So there will be exaggerated reflex and spastic paralysis. This thing should be in your mind. Second, what most important thing is that voluntary. If I think I have to lift the hand, this reflex arc is not doing anything for me. The impulse will come from here. It will be given to the anterior horn cell, and from this it will go from my nerve, the musculocutaneous, the radial, the femoral, the obturator, all those nerves, and give on to my muscle. So this is the concept, guys. Hope this concept is clear. If it is not clear, I don't think I can explain this any more in any more detail, guys. Do you all know when did I read this? I read this tomorrow in great detail for teaching you all. So it is benefit for us also. I did not know this very in so much detail. I did not know this. I knew that there will be this thing, but not in great detail. Okay. Yes, Nusrat, if you want to add anything.
One say, why is there exaggeration due to overactivity of which neuron?
Overactivity of these lower motor neuron. What is the lower motor neuron? Both these alpha motor neuron and the gamma motor neuron and the alpha motor neuron. Okay. Exaggerated reflex, lower motor neuron बोल दो उसको. एक ही nerve के अंदर रहते हैं, अलग-अलग nerve से नहीं जाते ये. If there is radial nerve, both the fiber will be there in the radial nerve only. Okay.
Okay.
Arbaz, I think just telling the pathway now will be better for them. Like the alpha, gamma, just the pathway, not in detail, just the pathway.
अल्फा गामा, कौन सा अल्फा गामा?
No, the reflex pathway. Reflex pathway, it's better
Reflex
just
pathway.
in
Yes, I'm not going in detail. Nowhere have I gone into detail. This is very, very simple. What I told, intrafusal, extrafusal fibers, reflex arc, I told. That's it. In great detail, you will be learning intrafusal fibers, who कौन से wrapping करते क्या है, and all that you will be reading in your physiology, muscle spindle का proprioception. Okay. Why did I explain this? Now you will understand the upper motor neuron and the lower motor neuron lesion in great detail, guys. In great detail, you will understand. Let me tell you upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron in great detail. Now,
Arbaz,
firstly, yes.
Arbaz, are you also talking about the pyramidal and extrapyramidal tracks today, or did you schedule it to some other day?
Pyramidal tracks I talked about. Extrapyramidal tracks, I think I'm not talking today.
Okay, can you at least give brief description? I mean, what are pyramidal and extrapyramidal, if you have time? I mean, after you are done with this.
I'll surely do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Upper motor neuron. Okay. Upper motor neuron का lesion है. So how will be the paralysis? Point 1. This is your 4-mark question, guys. Important 4-mark question. I cannot stress how much important it is in medicine. When I was in my first year, I saw the medicine paper and I found this question. Then I thought I would have written this question very well. Okay, this upper motor neuron, lower motor neuron is medicine ka question. You are learning it right now in great detail.
Very
First,
important
let us
for
say about the
Vaibhav.
paralysis.
Is not going to leave you.
Yes. Okay. So first about the paralysis, then about the reflexes we will talk. First we will talk about the tone, then about the paralysis, then about the reflexes, okay? Then about the reflexes, then about the atrophy, okay? Then about the atrophy, okay? Now what are all these? What is all this? Nothing. Tone kya hai? What is tone? Tone is the partial state of contraction of the muscle, partial state of contraction. My hand is not dropping down, my hand is not exaggeratedly lifted like this, so there will be a tone in my flexor muscles, tone in my extensor muscle. Both is balanced. That's why I'm able to keep it comfortably. If my upper motor neuron ka paralysis hai, will the tone be increased or decreased? We talked over here. Upper motor neuron inhibitory impulse nahi hai, ye exaggerated rehta, that means the tone will be increased. If the lower motor neuron is gone, nothing is there to innervate the muscle. So the muscle will not have any tone. So it will have no tone, toneless muscle. What is toneless muscle called as? Hypotonia, you can say, okay? Tone here increased. So how will be the paralysis? Increased tone ka this is also called paralysis. What is paralysis? Not able to do voluntary function is called paralysis. Upper motor ka neuron lesion hai, तो भी we are not able to do voluntary work, and lower motor ka neuron ka lesion hai, तो भी we are not able to do the voluntary work. So how will be the paralysis, guys? If upper motor neuron lesion is there, inhibitory influx is not there, the paralysis will be with increased tone. This type of paralysis with increased tone of the muscle is called spastic paralysis. I'm not able to move my hand now. I'm not able to move like this, but it is extended like this, hyper extended wrist. Okay, which muscles are overacting? My extensors are overacting. So there is increased tone or spasticity in my extensor muscles. That means I have upper motor neuron lesion in the nerve supplying the extensor muscle. Which nerve is supplying the extensor muscle? Can I know in the chat box? Forearm ka extensor muscle. Very easy nursery question. Okay. So we have spastic paralysis. Hope this concept is clear. How will be the reflex? Here we have flaccid paralysis. What is flaccid? Dhila. Flaccid means dhila. No tone. It will be lying like this. You can do anything with that. For spastic paralysis, if I put my hand here and try to pull it down, I will not be able to do that because there will be rigidity. For flaccid paralysis, I can do anything because it is dhila. Okay. Here is the flaccid. Paralysis is flaccid type. Decreased tone and paralysis is flaccid paralysis. कौन सा? Lower motor neuron. Why? Nerve का damage है. Nerve which is supplying the muscle is gone. Now the reflex arc, guys. How will be the reflexes? Tone is increased. Okay. Paralysis is there with increased tone. Spastic paralysis. this lower motor neuron ka pathway is hyperactive. I told you, when there is no inhibitory influence. Okay, here from here it will come. If I tap the this thing, patellar tendon, stretch, the impulse will go from the alpha motor neuron, it will come extraphyseal fiber, it will contract. So no inhibitory influence, so it will be hyper exaggerated reflex. Hyperactive reflexes or exaggerated reflexes. Exaggerated reflexes. And here will be absent reflexes or hypoactive reflexes. What is the difference between these two? Absence or hypoactive? When will you get absent or hypoactive? I think I should not go in detail because you will get confused. Okay, absent or hypoactive, you remember. Okay, exaggerated reflexes in
But
upper
we
motor
got it
neuron.
out.
Now for the
Bus.
clinical scenario freaks, the students who were telling me, please take clinical scenarios, please take clinical scenarios. From here, multiple clinical scenarios can be formed. Ha, bolo Zaki.
Hello. We got a doubt
Yes,
from our candidate. Can you please explain why increased tone in upper motor neuron lesion?
increased tone in upper motor neuron lesion ka, because upper motor neuron क्या कर रहा, it is coming an inhibitory influence, मतलब inhibit कर रहा किसको, lower motor neuron को. Otherwise lower motor neuron fire करते जाता because of reflex, this reflex activity. ये muscle spindle कुछ ना कुछ करके stimulate होते रहता, then the impulse will be carried out. Because of this reflex activity, the muscle will be contracted. To make this tone the optimum level, flexor और extensor का tone optimum level के लिए रखने के लिए upper motor neuron inhibit कर रहा है इसको. Inhibit मतलब maintain कर रहा है. It is the father. If the upper motor neuron is cut, upper lesion बोल तो cut. If it is cut over here, no inhibitory influence. If no inhibitory influence, this will be hyperactive. This is what I want you to understand. Hyperactive. If it is hyperactive, tone is increased. Hyperactive ये क्या है? Hyperactive मतलब what I mean to say, increased contraction. Increased contraction means increased tone. What is tone? Your contraction. थोड़ा contracted है, ज़्यादा contracted है, कम contracted है, नहीं contracted है, नहीं contracted है तो flaccid, और ज़्यादा contracted है तो spastic. That is tone. Now what type of tone we have? Spastic tone or flaccid tone? Neither spastic not flaccid. We have optimum tone. We have optimum tone in all the muscles. Tone is very important to stand, to sit. Tone is very, very important. Okay.
Abbas, can I add on this?
I hope that clears. Yes, you can add, but please let me finish this atrophy.
No, related to this spasticity only.
Okay. Please add.
As we saw in the synapse lecture, the tetanus toxin mechanism which I explained, there is inhibition of the inhibitory neurons which go control the excitatory neurons, right? So here the inhibitory neurons are cut, that are the upper motor neurons which are coming, and along with this corticospinal, beside we have corticoreticular also. You must have known the reticular system which is responsible. It is like the maintainer, godfather of maintaining everyone. So that corticoreticular are also damaged. This is also a major reason why we get spasm. So this inhibitory reflex is lost. So the next ones will overact. Like for example, I will give a daily life example fast. That if you have a third year student, we are third year students, our seniors are fourth year students, their seniors are the senior doctors, right? If there are no senior doctors and no fourth year students, third year students will overact. Like that, lower motor neurons are third year students, the upper motor neurons are fourth year, and the senior doctors, they are not there. So third year students will overact. Got it now? So there is hypertonia, there is spasm. I hope this is clear now.
Hello, Arbaz. We got another doubt. Hello.
I think Arbaz has taken a break. He's gone to drink some water.
Okay, fine. Hope you guys are enjoying the class. Okay, fine. Please comment down if you are enjoying it.
Because I got confused in this, just want to clear. The gamma neurons and alpha neurons, they are involved in deep tendon reflexes. The neuron, the arc was of reflex, tendon reflex, not of this spasm and all. It was of tendon reflex. So if you are asked about why the reflexes are exaggerated, then you have to answer the arc, that gamma neurons overfire or anything. If you are asked about the spasm, you need to answer that because the upper motor neuron and the cortico-reticular regulation is not there, then that's why the lower motor neuron are overacting. That is the reason behind the spasm. These two should be distinct. You cannot mix them both. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Arbaz,
Thank you,
are you
Dr.
back?
Nusrat, for clarifying.
Arbaz, there
Thank
is
you
a
for
doubt, okay?
clarifying that. I think
Hello.
I'll take doubts afterwards, please.
Okay, fine then.
If it
We
is a
got a
relevant
good
doubt, please
response,
tell.
okay,
Otherwise,
Arbaz. Everyone is enjoying the class, okay? Be cool and go smoothly, okay? Everyone is enjoying.
okay. Okay. What is next? Yeah, upper motor neuron ka we were discussing. Okay. So I think Dr. Nusrat cleared this, why the tone is increased. Okay, I told you this pathway is also responsible for tone. She clarified that the reticular system, the reticular formation. What is reticular formation, guys? The reticular formation is this is the midbrain, guys. This is the midbrain. This is the brain. This is the brain. In the midbrain, apart from the nuclei, whatever space is there, that is filled with something called as the reticular formation. It will have its own gray matter. It will have its own gray matter. From cortex to the reticular formation, there will be cortico-reticular fibers, guys. Cortico-reticular fibers. This is responsible for tone. I understand this, and this is also responsible for your ARAS. ARAS. What is ARAS? Ascending reticular activating system is responsible for your activation of the brain. Sleep, wake, cycle, wo sab bhi involved. Reticular formation is also 4-mark question. Okay. Yes. Next, atrophy of the muscle. Reflex we have seen exaggerated, tone we have seen exaggerated, everything is exaggerated. Paralysis is of spastic type, atrophy of the muscle is there. How is the atrophy now? How is the atrophy? What type of atrophy will be there? Will be early atrophy or late atrophy? Why atrophy will be there? First of all, let us see. Anything in the body, if it is not used, will undergo atrophy. And if it is not innervated by the muscle, it is not being used. Okay, if you have seen anyone with a paralysis, guys, on the wheelchair, they will have thin limbs. If one limb is paralyzed, that limb will be thinner. Okay, why? Because that limb is not being used. Anything is not being used, body considers it to be a waste. No need of providing nutrition to the waste things. Okay, no need to waste the nutrition. So that because of nutrition and because of denervation also, there will be no use, and there will be atrophy of the. Atrophy means decrease in the size of the muscle. Cell will be shrinking. Cell will be decreasing in size. This is the atrophy. Now, what type of atrophy? Here there will be disuse, right? Disuse. So there will be disuse atrophy. Here will be denervation atrophy. Atrophy due to denervation of the. Denervation means no innervation. Lower motor neuron is cut. So there is denervation. Okay. That is what I wanted to say. And here we have clasp knife reflexes. Clasp knife means exaggerated reflexes. Okay, in upper motor neuron. Then
Babinski,
also,
Babinski
yes,
sign.
yes, Babinski sign. Thank you for adding. We have some cutaneous reflexes getting activated in upper motor neuron lesion. Not activated actually. They are deranged. Now, what cutaneous reflexes? If this is my lower limb, this is my foot na, sole hai ye, sole, this is my sole ka leg ka sole, this is my great toe, this is my other toes. Normally if I stroke with a pen or something here, now what will be happening? There will be something known as dorsiflexion of great toe. Okay, this is normal. If upper motor neuron lesion will be there, this type of reflex will be not there. Another type of reflex will be there, that is known as Babinski sign. What is Babinski sign, guys? If we do the same reflex over here, instead of dorsiflexion of the great toe, there will be plantar flexion of the great toe. And wait, I'm getting confused. Let me just see. There will be fanning of other toes, and okay.
I guess it's the other way
Normally
around.
what will be there? Normally will be plantar flexion of the great toe. Now here what will happen in upper motor neuron lesion? How will my Babinski sign will be there? Dorsiflexion of great toe, plantar flexion of other toe. This is known as positive Babinski. Positive Babinski is one of the indicator of upper motor neuron lesion. Now for the clinical scenario jisko pasand, how will the case come? How will the case come? A person coming to you with rigid muscle. When you examine his reflexes, they are exaggerated. Okay, his muscle is atrophied. Okay, his muscle is atrophied, and there is increased tone in the muscle with clasp knife rigidity. And when you have elicited the Babinski sign, it is positive. Babinski sign. This is not Babinski sign. Okay, Babinski sign. This is known as plantar reflex. The normal one is called plantar reflex. Plantar reflex, Babinski sign. Where else is Babinski sign seen, guys? Apart from the upper motor neuron lesion, it is seen in deep sleep. Deep sleep. Once what I did was, when my brother was sleeping, I took his soul and did this Babinski sign. It was positive. I saw the dorsiflexion of the great toe and fanning of the other toes. You can also do that. Don't wake him up and tell that I'm doing the reflex. When he's in sleep, you do. Okay, you'll elicit this Babinski sign. Okay.
And also, Arbaz, there's one Arbaz.
Deep sleep and also in the before 2 years. Yes, Pranav. Before 2 years also. Yes, Pranav, please.
Okay, Ziba says, is it seen in meningitis also? And also,
I don't think it is
there
seen
are
in
two
meningitis.
people.
Yes.
Okay, there are two more people who ask if it is seen in infants.
Yes, if it is seen in infants less than 2 years. I said you just now, less than 2 years. Why it is seen? Because myelination is not complete. Upper motor neuron ka myelination is not complete. That means less functional upper motor neuron. So we are seeing it in upper motor neuron lesion, guys. Usme myelination complete nahi hua infants mein. So less functional upper motor neurons. That's why we are getting Babinski sign positive. Deep sleep, less Babinski sign is a very, 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 very important reflex. You will be asked in your medicine and your physiology ka practical viva also. This is very important. Okay.
What happens to superficial
meningitis में कोई पूछे कि Babinski sign positive रहता, if upper motor neuron gets involved in the meningitis, then I think Babinski sign can be positive. Okay. Now let us go to
reflex.
Yes,
superficial reflex exaggerated, or what happens to superficial reflexes?
Dependent reflexes are exaggerated. Superficial cutaneous reflexes are deranged, like Babinski sign.
Yeah, they may be lost also.
Yes, sometimes lost, or this thing is Babinski sign is the hallmark. If you are suspecting someone coming with you to you with this thing, upper motor neuron lesion, do Babinski sign. You will come to know. It is very good reflex. You will get the reflex. Knee jerk may and all we will not be able to appreciate unless we have done hundreds of reflexes. But Babinski sign is such a reflex. If you elicit it, you will get it. Properly you have to elicit, but. Okay. I think sensory ascending tracks नहीं होता आज. Okay, it is already 1 hour से ज़्यादा, 1 hour 30 minutes से ज़्यादा हो गया. So we will be stopping over here. Okay. Tomorrow we will be continuing with the other thing and also the applied aspect. I think the session was clear. Okay.
Arbaz, Aisha has asked to repeat the RAS role.
RAS role will be taught in the subsequent sessions. Okay. Reticular activating system role will be taught in the subsequent session. Yes, in clear detail. Tomorrow I will do.
There's a question from Ziba. She says, does multiple sclerosis affect both IMN and UMN?
No, LMN will not be affected in multiple sclerosis, or rarely affected. Yes, they can be affected, but rarely. But the central nervous system ke neurons is greatly affected. Okay, central nervous system ke neurons is greatly affected. If Nusrat wants to add, can add over there. One more thing, wait. One more thing I want to tell is, please fill the feedback form, guys. 100 students have attended almost the entire session. Please, 100 students give the feedback form, because we require this feedback form for our this thing, documented evidence. We want to keep it that we have conducted this voluntary work. Okay, we can show this to our in future. That will be helpful for us. This is also one of the reason we are conducting, and also we will be improving in teaching experience. What more to be added? How is my teaching style? How is my teaching this thing? How is it there? Okay, I will also get experience. Okay, this thing I will also get to know. Please, everyone, please, it is a request. Please fill the feedback form. It will be shared. Okay, Nusrat.
There is a doubt from Mahendra. Okay.
Yes.
Why upper motor neuron shows inhibitory action only on lower motor neuron?
It is not as such inhibitory, guys. It is not as such inhibitory. It is maintaining. उसको maintain में करके रख रहा हूँ. Overall बोले तो inhibitory है.
Okay.
It is
Explain in English. I
corticospinal tracts
think you
किसको कर
can't
रहा
understand.
जाके?
Arbas,
Yes.
can you explain in English? Explain in English. Okay.
Yes, yes. So this is the corticospinal tract, guys. This is the corticospinal tract. This is the spinal cord. This is the anterior horn cell of the spinal cord. This is the anterior horn cell. This is the lower motor neuron. This should not be exaggerated. That's why it is having this reflex should not be exaggerated. It is having inhibitory influence. Why only on this? Because it is supplying this only corticospinal tract. What else it will supply? Corticospinal tract as upper motor neuron. What else it will supply? It will supply the anterior horn cell only. That's why it is having inhibitory influence over here. We have other upper motor neurons as corticonuclear fibers, corticoreticular fibers, corticobulbar fibers. Okay, these are also upper motor neuron. If these are involved, corticonuclear, upper motor neuron injury of the that nerve will happen. Okay. Yes. Any other doubt?
If the doubts are completed, please intimate me. I have something.
Okay. Are the doubts completed? Panelist Zaki?
Yeah, till now it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
Arbaz, I have an objection. I didn't find the termination part which you explained satisfactory. I would ask your question if I can.
Hello.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Arbaz,
Yes, you were not clear.
Yeah,
You were not clear. Please repeat whatever you said. Please repeat.
The termination part of corticospinal tracts, I think it should have been dealt with in great detail.
Yes, it will be dealt tomorrow. Spinal cord ka anatomy, I did not tell very detailedly. I told you spinal cord ka. We will be starting with the how it is entering, how it is exiting, where it is coming. I will be telling tomorrow. Termination will be taught. Okay. At least the idea they got it. Okay. Don't confuse them right now. We will be dealing tomorrow subsequently. Okay.
Do it now, because you didn't tell about the anterior corticospinal tract where it is ending, and you didn't tell the
Yes, I
important.
will tell tomorrow. I will.
Because the late.
I don't want to overwhelm them. Yesterday, one of the panelists, Dr. Abdul Haq, told me, don't overwhelm them in one session. That's why I'm not telling many things. I understand that many things are not there, and many things I have simplified to a greater extent.
No, I just wanted to, because it has a clinical application. That's why.
Okay, if you want to tell now, you can tell. Otherwise, we can tell tomorrow.
I think it's already.
No, it will just take 5 minutes. 5 minutes and the topic would be clear. At least one topic should be taught, and to every extent it should be taught, because we have already not covered many topics today. So again, postponing it will be a great waste of time.
Yes, you can continue. You can continue.
1 minute. I will start my video sharing 1 minute. I will explain.
Yes.
Arbaz, off your video.
Yeah. So this is the spinal cord. Oh my God. 1 minute. And this is the figures. Yeah. So I was telling the lateral. If I am talking of this is right side, this is left side. I will take right side. So the lateral ones, they will cross here and they will end. They will end here. Clear. It will end here. This is the white matter, right? It will end here. Then 1 minute. I will keep a.
It is not ending over there. It is crossing towards the gray matter. It is entering the gray matter.
It will end. I have read 3 books. It will end here. From there, interneurons will carry here. And some few fibers, 70%, I may be wrong with the percentages, but many of the fibers end here. From here, the information is carried again by interneurons to the gray matter. Some few fibers end directly. This is about lateral corticospinal tract. And this one, I want to stress that lateral corticospinal tract, it will supply only the distal group of muscles, like your limbs. They are distal group of muscles. So the skilled movements like writing or typing, these are controlled by a lateral corticospinal tract. Now talking about the anterior corticospinal tract, I was on the right side, right? These will come here and they will terminate, they will also terminate here, then interneurons will be there. And from here again you have interneurons which will connect these anterior horn cells. These are all anterior horn cells, right? From these anterior horn cells again you have neurons arising which will carry information here. So anterior corticospinal tract and lateral corticospinal tract, thus they are integrated. And this anterior corticospinal tract, this will supply to your proximal muscles like your axial skeleton. So this is responsible for your what do you say, posture maintenance. If you're walking, if you're climbing, these are responsible. So hence if you have a lesion of lateral corticospinal tract, though it may be rare, the isolated lesion may be rare, but if per se here you are getting the lesion, then the anterior corticospinal tract is spared. So the posture maintenance is spared. If you have lesion here, then anterior corticospinal tract will be impaired, and I am telling, then your lateral corticospinal tract of this side will be spared, and you will have the distal movement not be hampered. The distal muscles, like our hand, our legs, the far parts are supplied by lateral, and the axial skeleton and the neck muscles, the midline muscles, are supplied by your anterior corticospinal tract. This I wanted to clear, and this ending should be clear. These many interneuronal connections are there. Am I clear, Arbaz, now?
Yes, I was going to discuss this in the applied aspect in the syringomelia, in amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, stapes dorsalis, everything. Great that you have explained it right now. I think it is clear for everyone. Thank you, Dr. Nusrat. So I think we'll be ending the session over here. Please give the feedback, fill the feedback forms.
Yeah.
Yes, anything you want to say, Nusrat?
No, I was just asking for forgiveness.
Why forgiveness? We are all here to learn. We should share knowledge and learn.
Yeah. I just don't want to overtake anyone. I
No,
felt that
it is not like overtake.
Because the termination part is also
Everyone
important.
wants to learn from us. Yes. So if any other panelists would like to say anything, is Abdul Haq here? I want him to say anything. Okay. Sadat, please say anything. We'll be ending the session then.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a really great session. I think the concept is completely clear for the juniors. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Arbaz, few of them are asking about the paper presentation.
Paper presentation अब time नहीं है माँ, कल करेंगे अपन.
What is this Arbaz nonsense?
We'll be doing tomorrow.
Arbaz, you are cheating
okay.
them. It's not fair. You are cheating them.
No,
we'll be doing tomorrow. I am very much tired. I am hungry. We'll be doing this tomorrow.
I can understand.
Sorry.
Don't worry, guys.
Sorry, promise.
Have an exam tomorrow. Don't worry. We will.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone,
Nusrat, please share the feedback form. And
okay.
Hello, everyone who is thanking in the chat box, like Ziba, Adnan, Sakina, Lubna, Uzma, and everyone. I want to tell them that you show this thankfulness in the feedback form, please.
Not only thankfulness, whatever you feel, you tell that. If you did not like any part, if you did not like anything, you tell them. Be frank. No one is going to see your name. It is anonymous. You can tell over there anything. Yes, just be honest. We require this, guys. We require this.
Yeah, criticism is really important for us to improve.
Okay, so shall I leave now?
Be honest about it.
We shall end the meeting. I think the recording is also okay.
Everyone can leave. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for attending this session.
Thank you,
I will be
everyone.
concluding.
Share the recording with me because I got some requests who couldn't attend today. I will share with them. If you can, please
Yeah,
share
yeah,
me the link.
okay. I will be sharing in the WhatsApp groups. Okay, fine.
Okay. Okay.
क्या recording?
हाँ
हाँ भाई हमारे बहुत फैंस हो
नको
गए.
नको इधर उधर चले जाता नको.
नहीं नहीं बच्चे रिक्वेस्ट कर रही थी नहीं अटेंड कर पाएगा तो लिंक वो कैसा भी एक्सपायर हो जाती थोड़े दिन में.
सरों को ये मालूम हुई ना करेंगा.
हाँ 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 तुम तो बुलाने वाले थे सर को अब क्या है क्या शर्मा
हाँ. क्या है कि भाई देखेंगे
अरबाज
बात करेंगे.
टर्मिनेशन आएगा तो
तुम
थोड़ी देर
सेलिब्रेट.
हेलो अरबाज,
हाँ हाँ बोलो सकी.
टर्मिनेशन पार्ट थोड़ी देर समझ में आएगा तो.
टर्मिनेशन
अरबाज?
पार्ट समझ में नहीं आया. क्या नहीं आया?
थोड़े टर्मिनेशन पार्ट जो भी था तुम्हारा जरा थोड़ा अभी एक बार नेक्स्ट क्लास में उससे स्टार्ट कर दो.
हाँ
श्योर
अरबाज,
श्योर श्योर.
ये तुम नेक्स्ट क्लास कब ले रहे?
डिटेल. यस.
अरबाज
कल
नेक्स्ट
कल
क्लास
है
कब
कल.
ले रहे? कल ही ले रहे? अच्छा, ये
कल
पेपर
कल टुमारो
प्रेजेंटेशन का एक अलग से
टुमारो
क्लास लो बोल रहा हूँ मैं.
टुमारो. यस. व्हाट? नॉट
पेपर
ऑडिबल.
प्रेजेंटेशन, पेपर
हाँ
प्रेजेंटेशन
कल
वाला
कल
क्लास
कल
कल ही
नुसरत
बोलते हैं
गए
ना.
चले
कल
गए.
कल कल
नुसरत
टुमारो.
नुसरत चले गए. ठीक है
चलो बाय
चलो
बाय
एंड
गाइस.
करते हैं. खुदा हाफिज.
ठीक है
बाय.
बाय बाय.
Hafiz.